Hey, welcome back to Confidence in Christ with Kayla. Today we are still in Ephesians 6 going through the armor of God, and we are in verse 16 today. It says, "In addition to all this, take up the shield of faith, with which you can extinguish all the flaming arrows of the evil one." Now, there's kind of a shift in Paul's writing here. We have been putting things on in the previous verses, but now he wants us to take action. He's telling us what we need to do with this piece of armor. So we've got everything else on, and now we've got this shield that we need to physically and actively use at all times. Why? Because the enemy is after you. He is pursuing you. He's hot on your tail. There's no better way to say it. Like, he's gunning for you, man. And he wants you so busy putting out internal fires and other things that you can't fight him off. He's throwing these flaming arrows to distract you from everything else and what you truly need to be looking at. So when something in your day just goes wrong, like, that's a flaming arrow. Like, he's trying to distract you and move you from your focus on God. But this shield of faith, it is something that we need to use. You've got to hold it up to block off those arrows. And God hands this shield to you. And what I love is that we have to activate it. It is something that we have to use. We have to rely on God. And our faith is not something that we just pass by just calmly. Like, it is something that we have to act on. We need to act like God is telling us the truth and believe it. Because when we fully believe that, faith says less about us and more about the fact that God is true and that we can believe everything that he says. God is faithful. And when we remember just how faithful he is, it activates our faith. And we can look and be like, well, he's covered me in the past. He's done everything. Why wouldn't he come through this time? He will always come through for you. And I love that we can have confidence in him in that his faithfulness is just so good and so sure that there's nothing that can shake that. And we can stand confidently with our shield, blocking all of those flaming arrows from our lives and from our days, and just know that God's got us. He is covering us, and he is faithfully going to come through and save us because he already has. Spoiler alert, he wins. But getting to that place of faith is where you kind of have to step into a situation where you have no other option than for God to come through. Like, there is no plan B. There is no plan C or D. It is God and only God. Now, that's a hard place to get to, and you might be there, but God is going to be faithful, and he is going to come through for you, and you can have confidence in that day. Claim it and know that he is faithfully going to come through.